What's up, classmates? Soy Robert Sawyer.
I can't do that. You said soy Robert Sawyer?
Soy Robert Sawyer.
And I'm Mrs. Sawyer.
Y conjuntos somos los únicos niños negros en la clase.
You're gonna be seeing my vision soon. Keep doing that.
Honey, I'm just looking at you. I'm looking dead in your face.
You're totally not. You might want to take those off.
Give me a kiss.
Yep.
What's up, classmates? I'm Robert Sawyer.
And I'm Mrs. Sawyer.
And together, we are the only black kids in the class. Why you like the international version? I'm trying to expand the base.
I don't know what you were doing. You should have consulted with me before you start doing some crazy stuff.
Well, you're the editor.
Well.
Allegedly.
Edit that out.
Nope, that's for sure going in. Editor, clip that up. Back with another episode, married besties, laughing through life and judging a little bit more. How you doing, baby?
I'm good.
Nice.
How are you?
Tired.
Yeah? Okay.
Very, very tired. I've been editing these episodes. I've been responding to these classmates. I've been all over the place. Need to rest.
You need to rest.
Need to rest. Okay. And I will rest.
A little bit. Okay.
How about you?
Rest
you getting your rest?
Not as much as I wanted to. But I can't say I don't feel rested.
Okay. But you feel like you need a little more?
I would like to, but then it's like, you can't like rest too much kind of thing.
No, I don't even know what I don't even know what rest too much would sound like.
It's like, sometimes it's like, I wish I could just like sleep in. And then like, I slept in, but it was like, yeah, that's all.
Sleep in. What is that?
Huh?
What does sleep in mean?
Well, like I have an alarm most mornings to get up. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times I just like to wake up and not have an alarm.
I never have an alarm.
Or I get up or go back to sleep because there's like no like pressing schedule. It's just schedule. Yeah.
Wake up and go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that.
Like sometimes it's like, I gotta pee. But how much longer do I have before I wake up? Because I don't want to wake up to go pee and then go back to sleep. Like that's a constant conversation. And then it's like, I think I got like 2 hours left, so I can get up and go pee and then go back to sleep.
Wow.
But then if it's only 30 minutes, it's like, I don't want to get up.
It's a real issue there. Well, you just let me know how I can facilitate some additional rest for you, and you got it.
I appreciate that.
My pleasure. Today's episode, no real theme. I just figured we'd read some stories we have in the stash, get our takes, get your takes, maybe some homework, maybe not. I don't know. Don't get nervous.
We'll see.
Don't get nervous. You gonna take attendance?
Huh?
Are you taking attendance?
The classmates already know what to do. They don't need to micromanage.
A lot of people come in late.
Yeah. Understood. Life happens.
Well, without any further ado, we got some Ask the Black Kids.
Woohoo!
This one's titled, I Need Your Help. Hi, I'm a big fan of your show and I like the advice you give to people. Maybe you could help me. I am 26-year-old male and my girl is 24. We have been dating for 4 years now. I'm at the stage where I'm thinking of marriage, and I think she's a really good person in most regards. But the thing is, she does these micro things that annoy the hell out of me and doesn't take me seriously when I say it. One example is when we're texting, and then she just sends something and deletes it. Like, if you didn't want to talk to me, just don't talk to me. She does this all the damn time, and I have brought it up several times. If you are having a disagreement, she will send you a paragraph, delete it, and just send you an okay in its place. Sometimes she will just edit the paragraph to an okay, and I can't stand it.
Oh.
So last week, we were having an argument, and I figured to piss her off, let me do the same thing. Petty, I know. I did it a couple times, but it just felt stupid of me. Then I asked yesterday, we were talking about things that annoy her that I do, and she turns to me, and I just say it's all good because I thought, what's the point if I won't be listened to? Then she convinces me I tell her the texting thing. She starts laughing. I try not to take that personally. Then with a straight face, she says, I do it because you do it. Mind you, she's been doing this for years and I did it for a week. I honestly just feel defeated. I know that texting isn't a big deal, But she does this sort of thing all the time, and it's genuinely starting to wear at me. Am I being childish? That's the question.
Oh, the question
Is he being childish?
Being childish. So
Yeah, a little bit.
a tad.
Not too much.
A tad. I mean, I can't control the way you feel, but I don't know. At some point, you're gonna like. There's gonna be things that your partner does that just annoys you or like pisses you off, and you kind of like outweigh it. Like,
I mean,
weigh that.
You mean like for everybody else, though, like not something that you go through.
I think everyone goes through it. I know I annoy you. So
why do you think you annoy me?
Because there's things I do I know it annoys you because you'll say it's annoying. But I don't know if that's worth, like, if you really want to marry somebody, I don't know if that's enough to like be a deal breaker for you. But then, I can't decide that. Only you can decide that if that's a deal breaker for you. I guess I don't text that much. I don't even really understand it. Like type a whole thing and then just delete it.
So to those who know what the blue bubble life is, you can send something and then you can edit it.
Yeah, I've
so
done
she'll
that.
send that whole paragraph and then she edits it to just say K.
Oh, okay. Well, then you already read it then.
No, you might not. Sometimes you just see that it's edited. Or sometimes it comes in and you see it and then immediately it can change. And sometimes it can't change it because you already saw it.
Maybe she's doing that thing. Maybe instead of arguing with you, she just wants to be the bigger person and let it go. She changed her mind. Because, like initial reactions like, oh, really? Da-da-da-da. And it's like, you know what? That's all right. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that happens frequently, then maybe she should not respond so fast.
Yeah.
And just wait.
Yeah, but,
Are you being childish? I don't know if you're being childish. I don't even know if that's the right question. If something bothers you before you get married, imagine living with that thing forever.
Yeah.
So one day you meet them and y'all go to dinner and the way they choose, just so quirky. Remember that. It's quirky. It's cute. Oh my God, they're so great. Look how they chew. And then like a few years in, it's like, they still chew like that. And then you get married. Now it's year 5. And you want to stab yourself in the ears every time they chew. I'm not saying avoid any quirk or anything that makes someone unique. I'm not saying that, but just imagine nothing changes. When you want to marry someone, consider that this is them forever. Now, people change. That's the other part. That's the scary part too. People change, but what if they don't? And the things that kind of bother you, just imagine she double downs on that. So if that bothers you now, and if that's a deal breaker, then break the deal.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not saying, I hate just saying just break up. I'm not saying just break up, but like consider, is this a thing that actually
right, that's what I'm saying.
Bothers me.
Or are you really there to get married to where that has that much weight for you?
Yeah. So in the email, you didn't mention the things that make you want to get married.
Right.
If you did a pro and cons list, maybe this is very, very low on the cons. Maybe it's very high. We don't know.
Yeah.
I will tell you, coincidentally, I happened to read an article earlier this month, and I've pulled it up after reading your email. Why K is the most hated text message according to science. A study reveals that the one-letter reply K is the most damaging than being left unread. I'm not going to read the whole article about, can I tell you some things? According to a study published in the International Journal of Mobile Communications, I'm sure we all have a subscription to that one, K was ranked as the most negatively received response in digital conversations, worse than being left unread or even passive-aggressive, sure. The study found that the single-letter reply often signals emotional distance, passive aggression, or outright disinterest. Despite its brevity, K carries surprising emotional weight. Adding an extra letter, making it KK, softens the tone of the reply entirely. KK. Variants like OK or OK, spelled out O-K-A-Y, while still cold, tend to be interpreted as neutral or merely formal.
What's KK?
KK?
Oh,
Right.
I've never took it.
Yeah, babe, again, we're not.
You know what? Oh.
Yeah.
KK.
A lot of these things don't necessarily apply. You ever read like I used to read some like BuzzFeed things we all did in the 90s. And I'm like, oh, cool, I remember the 90s. And you read it, it's like, I didn't do none of that shit.
No, yeah.
Oh, things y'all did in the 90s.
Yeah.
Things y'all did, not things we did.
I get that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the top like songs of 1998. And I'm like, those were not the top songs.
Top songs in 1999, but they don't have Back That Ass Up.
I know.
Yeah.
What?
You remember when we were all wearing bowl cuts? What?
Bowl cuts?
What are you?
What is that?
Hey. Cultural differences.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So there might be something to the level of frustration you're feeling when she sends that K. Or you could have a conversation and say, hey, you tend to dismiss this whenever I bring it up. I'm really struggling with this. Is there something we could compromise on to get past this? And if she laughs and says, well, you do it tonight, so I do it because you do it, that lets you know. That lets you know who you're dealing with. And then you just say, K, and K your ass out the relationship.
Or, I don't know. I wish you luck on that one. I just don't get it. I'm sorry.
You don't get it?
I don't get it. I'm from, is 26?
He's 26 and she's 24.
Yeah, it's like, that's totally different time.
They've been dating for 4 years.
Yeah, that's a different time. So I text them. I mean, sometimes I don't see your text all day. Sometimes you don't like looking at the text. We're not like that. So I don't take anything for that. Sometimes I'd agree to text. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, was there like anger or something there? I talked to you about text and it's like, no, it's just, I don't know. I don't really like it too much sometimes.
There's a wonderful Key and Peele sketch that I try to get people to watch all the time. These two guys are texting and one guy is so nonchalant, like, do you even want to meet? Like, sure, whatever, if you want to. The other guy's like, yeah, no problem, no pressure. And the other guy's like, sure, whatever, if you want to. Oh, he's going insane. And the other guy's like, this guy. They're just, one guy's totally joking and the other guy's about to have a conniption.
Oh.
That's texting. Whenever you're reading a text, you are bringing what you're experiencing to it. And now you're reading. Listen, when I read these stories, I might read it, I'm a big fan of your show, and I like the advice you give people. But the person that wrote it says, I'm a big fan of your show, and I like the advice you give people. Because, I don't know, I'm weird, and I do voices for the podcast and in real life. It's not about me. Stop making it about me. The point is, you're bringing it to what you are, where you
or maybe
are.
Find out why she does that.
Well, she told him. He asked.
No.
She said, well, I do it because you do it.
Right. No. But that's just like saying that you do it. So then is she like meaning to like piss him off? Or like, is it that she types something and she changes her mind? Like, what is the root cause of her doing that is what I'm saying.
So you're saying have a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, not just to say, I don't like you doing this. And then she's like, oh, well, I do it because you do it. That's not really saying why. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really answering the question of why do you do that in the first place.
Listen to her, because she's the queen of not answering the question in the first place. Surprised you even said that. So try more discussion. It might be frustrating, but if you really want to be with someone, that frustration may be worth it. And if you can't get past it.
If that's a deal breaker for you, only you can determine that. Then that's it.
Okay. If you'd like to hear our take, our thoughts, how we respond with this entertainment, non-therapeutic advice, hit us up in an email at asktheblackkids@gmail.com. That's asktheblackkids@gmail.com. And before we get too far, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what? Not y'all. Y'all show up all the time. I'm talking to you. You keep watching all these episodes. You keep listening. You keep keying whenever Miss Sawyer cackles. But you haven't hit that notification. You ever been at a service and the pastors be like, I'm talking to someone who's going through something. Like they're describing literally any human that's ever had oxygen.
Like, oh yeah, he's talking straight to me.
I'm talking to you, the one with the 2 ears, the one with the eyebrows. No, not you with the messed up eyebrows. I'm talking to you with the good eyebrows. Yeah. And right now, someone's like, I know he ain't talking to me. My eyebrows are fire.
Yeah. The one that had to come in through the door to get in here.
Yeah. The one that is listening right now and looking and maybe just listening and in a car or at work or in a truck or on a plane or and just every possible example. Yes. I'm talking to you specifically. I'm not talking to anybody else. I'm talking to that person. Hit that notification bell. Hit that subscribe. I think on Spotify it's called follow. I don't know what it's called on Apple. Tap in. Lock in. Go on and follow us. And also give a couple 5-star reviews. Again, guys, you can only give a 5-star review. You can write, man, this show is terrible. 5-star review. I got some stories for us today.
All right.
This is Sawyer. Usually I come in with a theme. I don't got a theme today.
You don't have to have a theme.
Yeah. Just some interesting things I've seen on the interwebs and just gonna see where it takes us.
Okay.
I mean, we all know where it's going to take us. By the end, things will probably get pretty toxic. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance I won't help pay the mortgage?
Oh, okay.
For some background, I, 29-year-old female, and my fiance, 30-year-old male, have been together for 10 years. We had a baby back in 2020, and I lost my job around the same time. Our lease to our apartment was up, and my grandma offered for us to move in with her, so we did. We basically had our own little apartment rent-free. I had thrown the idea of going to school out there and everyone agreed it was a good idea. My fiance paid for it and my grandma watched my baby while I went to class. I graduate this semester. I did part-time for a couple of semesters. My fiance has been making $90K a year for the past couple years and $70K when we first moved in. He saved a good amount of money. We agreed to wait to get married until I finished school and we could buy a house together. We've been looking at houses more seriously for the past couple of months and found one we both love. We started talking to a mortgage broker, and that's when he dropped the bomb on it being him, and only him, on the mortgage and the deed. He said I wouldn't have anything to do with it. I didn't say anything in the meeting, but afterwards I told him I thought we were buying the house together and I'd pay half the mortgage. He said I would be paying half the mortgage, but my name just wouldn't be on it.
Oh, no.
So I told him that would mean I'd have no right to the house. And he said he knew. He said since he saved the 40% down, that it's only fair that he has the rights to the house in case we end things.
Oh, 40%.
Okay. I don't know why you're putting that. Oh,
jeez.
They want to look. You know what it is? The house is too expensive. They want to lower it.
Oh, okay.
I told him if that's what he wants to do, then I'm not paying for the mortgage.
That's right.
I said, this isn't a partnership. And if he just wants his own place, fine, but I'm not paying for it. He called me a bitch, saying that he paid for everything for the past few years, including my schooling. I told him I stayed home and watched our child, so he didn't have to pay for daycare. I'm sorry, she said, so we didn't have to pay for daycare. And that ended up saving us money since I would have been only able to work part-time. He said he didn't care and I needed to pay for half since I already agreed to it.
Okay.
So Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to pay the mortgage? Edit to add, originally we were supposed to move in with my grandma for a few months while we saved some money for renting a new place. I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to go to school so I'd make more money and we could potentially buy a place. My grandma said we should stay with her until I finish school so we can save up for a life together. My fiance and I had agreed that we would be buying a house together. He paid for the schooling because we were getting married and my student loans would have been our problem, not just mine. He encouraged me to finish my education so we could give our child a better quality of life. Edit 2, for those of you saying him paying for my schooling would be more expensive than rent, my schooling in total cost $17,000 across 5 years. That's $3,400 a year on average. Before we get into it, let's read some comments. Let me see where you stand on that.
Ready to go.
Comment 1. Are you still living in your grandma's place rent-free? If so, I'd stay there and start saving for your own down payment.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Someone else said, also, if grandma owns the house, start talking estate planning with the family. Inheritance is never community property. So if she inherits the house when grandma dies, then he has no right to it, and she's protected in case the relationship goes south after marriage. For the record, I think this relationship has some issues that need to be addressed, and I'm not convinced marriage will ever be the answer.
Oh, okay, that's what I was going to. That's my whole thing. You reading all these comments is taking all my comments away. I don't like this new style.
It's the new style.
I don't like this.
All right, last comment. Don't marry a guy that pulls this at the 12th hour. 30 years in mortgage lending. Pulling this during the application is a real dirtbag move. Too chicken to discuss in private. Some really unbelievable stuff would come up sometimes, usually more like undisclosed debt and bad credit, tax liens, and secret baby child support. Besides ownership, he'd probably have her paying all the utilities, food, cleaning, and maintenance from the get-go. These types of men, it's never just one thing. Take it away, Mrs. Sawyer.
You already took all my comments now.
Yeah, but the people want to hear you.
Like, right. So now you already put those comments into
you can just say the same things that those people said. No. And everyone's still going to like it. Go for it.
No. So what I was going to say is that y'all not get married. That's not your fiance anymore.
That's your baby daddy?
That's really what
that's just my baby daddy. That's your baby daddy. That's just my baby daddy.
Number two, there ain't no way I'm going to be paying on something and we're supposed to be getting married. No, that's not happening. Now, if we were just like, just our little thing, I'm going to buy a house because then you can go buy your house. You got to pay on this mortgage or whatever that little arrangement is, because I would have to pay rent regardless where I was going to stay. If grandma's telling me to get out after I graduated college, maybe I'd work on something. I might think about something like that. But we're supposed to be getting married. Why is my name not on that? Like, that to me, there's no discussion there. I'm done with that. Like, I'm not even arguing about it. Like, to me, it's over.
The relationship's over.
If my name not on there.
If your name is not on his house, the relationship's over.
I can't be in there either. You're going to be telling me it's your house and all this stuff all the time.
I mean, I find that to be some wild shit.
That's not going to work for me.
That's some really wild shit.
That's not going to work.
And then he's saying she has to pay because we agreed. Dude, you agreed that it would be our house. What do you mean? And she has to live up to the agreement. You do not. That's kind of wild.
And then he said he was paying for everything while he was there. Were you paying on grandma something? Because I thought you were paying with grandma.
No, they ain't pay grandma nothing.
Exactly. So that's my family. You up here staying up here all this time with while I was in school, and you think because you were staying with my family, and you didn't have to pay for their care. You gonna say this is your house? Nah.
Well, though he already has too many, I'm going to continue to advocate for the devil. And here we go. It's not what I think. I'm just playing devil's advocate. We got that one classmate that's for sure going to come in class. Whenever it's a man-woman thing, he's an advocate for men. I'm speaking to you. I don't know if it's Dago or Dago, but I know what you're going to say. So I know you're an advocate for men because, men are struggling. And they are in many things, not in this particular.
He going to struggle with that mortgage because I ain't paying for it.
And what he's going to say is, oh, so it's okay for him to pay for her school?
Yeah. He wasn't paying rent?
I don't know. They said that the reason he paid for schools because when they got married, it would be his debt also. Factually untrue.
Yeah, I don't agree with that part.
Anything before marriage is before marriage. Anything after marriage is marriage.
Yeah.
So if I take out a loan the day before I marry Mrs. Sawyer, that is my loan.
So wait a minute, they was there for 5 years?
They were there for a little minute. They were there for a little minute. I don't know how long they were.
It was 5 years. She said in the edit that it was only $17,000 over 5 years.
Across 5 years. They were there for a long time.
Yeah, and he wasn't paying no rent to my grandma?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to hear no shit like that.
Yeah, that's just a really weird thing for him to say.
Nah.
That's a really inappropriate thing. To be clear, that is a crazy thing for him to say.
Nah.
And guys, if you're
that sounds like somebody else.
If you are that concerned that if things end,
they don't start it.
Just don't.
We're not gonna start this. You need to go handle that mortgage partner.
Yeah, get a prenup, my guy.
We might come see you.
Your kid will be there on weekends.
Yeah, I'm staying with my grandma.
So you're saying this one's a wrap?
Yeah, I can't even entertain that. Like,
Dunzo.
I wouldn't even get upset about that. That, like, you showed me who you are. Thank you. Thank you for showing me now.
Before marriage.
Because this is not happening. Yeah, I'm done with that.
It's amazing how a baby can bring some clarity to a relationship, huh? Imagine if we can get that clarity.
I know.
Before the baby.
But he kind of switched up, though.
He did switch up.
So,
and I wonder when that seed was planted in his mind. I wonder.
That's what I'm telling you. It sounds like there's something else in there.
Wonder what podcast he listening to.
Or who else there is.
He listened to a podcast. What does she even bring to the table?
Whatever.
Weird conversations.
Yeah.
I called my wife ungrateful, canceled our date, and left her in the car to cry. How do I make her feel what I feel?
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
You left her in the car to cry. Oh.
All right. Here we go.
Okay.
My wife and I have been together for 2 years now, just got married recently. We are compatible in every other way, except when it comes to her idea of gestures and how she feels love. She actually really likes traditionally romantic things. It doesn't come naturally to me, but I oblige because it makes her happy. One of the things she wanted me to do on one of our dinners together was for me to pick her up in my car, get her flowers, open the door for her, and other stuff she wanted me to do. We live in a very convenient spot from which we can get things delivered in just under 5 to 7 minutes through the online app. I had forgotten to get flowers for her, so last minute, I just ordered it off the app. They were beautiful, and she said she is really happy about the gesture. I said, no worries. I can get you flowers every day. Somehow, I ended up blurting out that I ordered it off the app. Her expression immediately changed, and she said she doesn't feel special anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
Like it was as good as gifting her a bag of Doritos because no real effort went on my part. She angrily said she would have felt at least a little special had I placed an order directly from a florist. I had researched. I had researched on the app first, and then I ordered flowers from is the same app she orders stuff on a whim when we run out, such as bread and milk. I don't know what that means. I was feeling frustrated at this point and admittedly got mad at her because it felt so silly, and I felt unappreciated from the lack of gratitude when she said my gesture doesn't feel thoughtful anymore. I said, was the gift thoughtless or are you thankless?
Oh, okay.
She started crying. I ended up leaving her in the car downstairs in the complex and headed upstairs as I no more felt like having dinner with her.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Man.
That was explosive for what? Man. That's something else going on there. I don't think that's just that there.
What do you think it is?
She said that's his wife?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something wrong with that. How's she gonna get mad about how he went to go get the flowers? She's looking for shit to get mad at. It's just something else.
I can tell you what the internet says.
What?
If he wanted to, he would. And he was doing the bare minimum.
He was doing the bare minimum.
Hey, I didn't say that's what I think.
Traditional date shit, so she did the traditional date.
Yeah, but that's not how it works in relationships.
How does it work?
She doesn't want him to do the traditionally romantic things because she wants him to do the traditionally romantic things. She wants him to want to do the traditionally romantic things because he wants to do it.
He wants to do it because he wants to make her happy.
That's not good enough.
Oh my gosh.
She wants him to want to do it because he wants to do it because it makes her happy.
No. I told you I'm not about this life. I can't.
You're a little like that life.
No, I can't.
You're a little like that life.
No, I can't.
Something I love about you. What is your complete.
What have I ever told you? Oh no, I want you to want to do that and not just do it. If I tell you I want something, I just want it. It comes. I'm happy.
Something I love about you.
What?
Is I love the woman who you are today. But the woman you are today is the girl I was dating from before.
Okay.
That girl has matured. And for some reason, you seem to completely forget some of the shenanigans, the absolute shenanigans
I don't recall.
that you put. And that's convenient.
I don't call
All I'm saying is relationships are a little more complex than, no, just say what you want. Yeah, I agree. But as the person that has consistently over the decades just said what I want, communicating with the person who more likely now will just say what she wants. But in the beginning, no, come on, bro. I've dated you from the time you were 17. And if you want to sit here and tell yourself that you have always clearly communicated your wants and needs from the time you were 17,
no, I can't
and
say
you
that.
never had any silly what you would now call silly expectations.
I can't see me telling you I want something and then how it got there I cared about.
And I
can't even think of one time where I would think that.
I love the woman who you are today.
But even from
I love the woman who you are today.
Even the woman from before, as long as I got what I wanted.
I dated you at 17, 18, 19, 20, and onwards. And there are differences.
Okay.
There are differences.
I just always thought you got what I asked for or got what I need.
No, typically I get what I would think you would want.
Yeah.
Because I pay attention to you. That's typically it is. Maybe there's something to learn here for them. That's what I'm saying. Relationships are more complicated.
Yeah, next time you're going to go to the store and buy her some flowers, and he ain't going to like the flowers that he gets.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
Because it's all learning. That's what a relationship is.
Okay.
I express myself more clearly now than I did 20 years ago.
Fair.
They just need to learn. So, for example, the thing that I focus on here, he says, how do I make her feel what I feel? He felt unappreciated. He wants her to feel what he feels. And that lets me know that the way he interprets things is you must feel my feeling for it to be real. Maybe he doesn't have the means of expression. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But that part gives me the insight into, so I don't think he's seeking to hurt her, but he wants her to feel as bad as he feels. I never want you to feel bad. I never want you to feel bad. Mm-hmm. I think that's his area of growth. Where does that come from? What is the thing that you need her to feel? She doesn't feel great. You don't feel great. It sounds like it's more of a conversation. I think perhaps she wants things to be a little Disney-esque.
Oh.
And it's not about the flowers. It's about the thought.
Yeah.
They say it's not the gift. It's the thought. She doesn't feel that he had a thought about this because he just got it last minute off an app versus researching or picking it up.
Okay.
Tell me what you think. Don't just hit me with the K text.
Yeah, because I already said it. I think that's a little ridiculous. But that's me. That's
well, then
not
let
her.
me ask you a question. Is it the gift or is it the thought?
I think it's the thought.
All right. She feels he did not have the thought.
He did have the thought. He didn't not get it.
I agree with you. She feels that if he had the thought, he would have gotten it in a timely manner, done some research, put effort into it, instead of just looking at an app and doing the easiest thing. Because for her to feel love, and this is all interpretation, for her to feel love, he had to
sacrifice stuff because he had to go in the app. He had to pick out what it is. He had to do it in a timely manner enough to get it before it's time to go on a date. That's what I'm saying. She just wanted him to sacrifice and suffer to go get her the gift. That's what she wanted.
I don't know that she wanted him to suffer. I just think I think she is coming from a place of, I would feel more special that you put more time and effort into this than hitting up an app.
Okay.
I think she's expressing it in an immature manner. I understand her sentiment, and I don't think she's wrong for the sentiment.
Okay.
I don't think he's wrong for the sentiment. I think he's hurt. I think he's thinking, what does it matter? I got the thing.
Right.
It's just learning how to speak your partner. I speak Mrs. Sawyer. In the late 90s, I did not speak the soon-to-be Mrs. Sawyer. I had to learn how to speak Mrs. Sawyer. If he can face his feelings and really ask himself, what are you actually feeling right now? Where's that anger? I think he'll be able to be a little more honest with himself. He'll be able to come back to her, try to have some resolve. I hope that she's in a place where she's able to say, well, what are you really feeling? They can really get to that thing. It's not the flowers. It's the feeling behind the flowers. They just got to talk about it. And that's hard.
Okay.
We were not always here. Am I the jerk for refusing to let my sister-in-law stay at my house because she's a vegan with a peanut allergy? And that's in quotes. So it's making me wonder, is she a vegan with a peanut allergy? Was she eating some beef ribs last night? I don't know. So I, 28-year-old female, live in a small but cozy 2-bedroom apartment in a city where rent is sky high. I've always loved having friends and family over, but it's usually limited to a weekend or a quick visit. Long-term stays are pretty much off the table. My husband, 29-year-old male, and I agreed that we'd keep things simple and comfortable, which brings us to the current dilemma. My sister-in-law, Mara, 26-year-old female, is coming into town for a conference next week. She lives about 5 hours away, and while we don't exactly dislike each other, we're not super close. We've always had a bit of tension between us. She's very particular. She's vegan, which I totally respect, but she's also severely allergic to peanuts, which is no big deal, but she literally asks for separate pans and plates for every meal she eats. That's fine when it's a visit over lunch or dinner, but she's requested that I cook and serve every meal this way during her stay.
Oh, boy.
Here's the kicker. She also requires that my entire apartment be peanut-free and vegan-friendly for her visit.
No.
She said she's highly sensitive, so I should remove anything with peanut oil, peanut butter, or any trace of non-vegan foods in the kitchen. And no, she won't be eating out because, in her words, restaurants can't guarantee no cross-contamination.
Nope.
I work full-time and have a pretty hectic schedule, so I've asked her multiple times if she could just stay in a nearby Airbnb or a hotel. But she insists that since my place is so much more comfortable and homey, she'll just sleep on the couch and make herself at home.
Nope.
My husband is neutral, saying it's up to me, but he has mentioned that she's family and maybe I should be more accommodating.
Nope.
I love my sister-in-law, but I don't think it's realistic to cater to every single one of her dietary restrictions in my tiny apartment. Plus, I just don't think I should have to turn my life upside down to accommodate one person for a week. I'm honestly starting to feel resentful that she thinks I should do all of this when she could easily stay at a hotel. But maybe I'm being too harsh? So am I the jerk for refusing to let her stay?
Nope.
No, not at all. Why would she stay there? That makes no sense.
No.
That makes no sense. She needs to stay in an Airbnb. Yeah. She needs to bring her own pots and pans or buy brand new pots and pans, buy all her food, prepare all her food. There's nothing wrong with that because she is the one.
Yeah. I can meet you at some place to eat.
No, because she can't trust restaurants. So she does not eat
I'm
out.
not doing all that.
Yeah, we can spend time together.
Stuff.
But
I'm
she
not
needs
cooking
to
in the house. We like to eat meat. So we eat meat in the house. You don't
No,
want that?
what I find most ridiculous, she's requested that I cook and serve every meal this way during her stay.
No.
No. Hold on. I should remove anything with peanut oil, peanut butter, or any trace of non-vegan foods in the kitchen. I get the allergy. I get how serious that can be. But why should any trace of non-vegan food in the kitchen?
That's what I'm saying. No meat.
So I just got this great turkey.
Yep. Nope. You can't have
or
your
a great
meat.
steak or whatever. Because I eats the meats. Pause. And now it needs to not be in the house.
Yep.
Because why? How does the turkey in my deep freezer affect what you eat?
No, it can't be in the house.
It can't be in the house.
Yeah.
That's asinine. That's crazy. So no, you're not the jerk at all.
I agree.
Couple comments. Look, it's one thing to be vegan and allergic to peanuts. It's another thing to be vegan, allergic to peanuts, and cheap. She sounds eager to inconvenience you to save money. If you let her stay, you're not just down a guest bedroom, you're down a usable kitchen.
I agree. And the husband's okay with that too? Mm-mm.
Another comment says, I would say it's perfectly reasonable to see if your host could clean up a bit, not cook with peanuts while you're there. I agree. That's reasonable. Not reasonable is to expect them to sanitize the entire place, use separate pans for some reason, and to get rid of the products themselves instead of just not using them. The vegan thing, F off. As a host, I would probably just cook vegan for some shared meals, but I'm not tossing out non-vegan products that are in the house.
No.
I'd still have milk and cereal in the morning. I might buy an almond milk or something for her. My wife's friend has a deadly shellfish allergy, and her kid has a nut allergy. When we know she's coming over, we don't let the kids or ourselves have nuts the evening before and give the kitchen table a clean. Her friend knows she lives in the real world, and that's it right there.
Yeah.
While we can do our best to accommodate, and we should, I take the peanut allergy seriously.
Yes.
But the no trace of non-vegan food, that's just bullshit. You get the hell out of my house. Matter of fact, you never got in my house, so
you're not
you don't even got to get
You're
out.
not staying.
What you got for me? I see you pull out your phone there. What you got for me?
Because I had an allergy one too.
Well, hit me with it.
I got an allergy one because these allergies. And I really sympathize with people with allergies. So look at this. Emily asshole for telling my roommate that I don't give a fuck about her boyfriend's allergies.
Whoa.
I, 24 female, have been living with my roommate, Layla, 25 female, for about 10 months. We have a 2-year lease, so I really want to fix this so we're not miserable for the next year. And to start, I need to see if I'm doing something wrong. Layla started dating Kyle about 6 months ago. Kyle has severe food allergies to shellfish, nuts, and soy, as well as a lot of more mild, moderate allergies. I use nuts and soy a lot in my cooking and some occasional shrimp. At first, Layla would tell me that Kyle is coming over and I would just adjust whatever I was planning on making if it was something that could be aerosolized, mostly nuts. And this was fine. He never had any reactions at our apartment from any food, but it slowly escalated, and now they want me to not keep any ingredient in the apartment that could cause him anaphylaxis, even if I'm not actively eating or cooking it while he's over. I've refused, and they've both pushed back a lot on it, and I snapped a little and told them I don't give a fuck about his allergies. I can accommodate him to an extent, but I don't care if the contents of my cabinet make him uncomfortable. He doesn't need to be near my things at all. They're being very dramatic and insisting I'm going to kill him with my selfishness and having closed jars of nuts in the kitchen I paid to use. But I'm not going to have my diet restricted by someone who doesn't even live here. Layla isn't speaking to me at all right now, and I feel a little bad now because I do understand how serious allergies are, but I also think they're overextending boundaries by telling me what I can or can't eat when he's not even here. What are your thoughts on that one?
My real thoughts. I think for so long, so many people have been marginalized and ignored, and I'm glad that there are options and opportunities for more people to be included, to be seen. I think that's very important. Mm-hmm. However, I do not think it is realistic that for every person's individual need, every other person must meet it.
Right.
So I can't eat the food when you're not here.
Like, no, you can't keep it in the cabinet. So what does he do when he goes in the grocery store?
Like where I live?
Yeah, where you live.
Like how does that even, like where do they buy the audacity?
That's what I'm saying. How do you walk into the store to buy your non-selfish, non-peanut things? Like the store has everything that's in there inside the containers. So her having container in the cabinet closed, how is that any different from walking in the store?
Yeah. And so then it goes from accommodating to you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Because that's crazy.
Then she said they both push back. Like, how could he push back? He don't live here.
He's enabled by her, and she's enabling him.
Nah. I can't see that one. Nope.
That's all you got for me?
I met you your allergy.
Okay.
I met for your allergy. But no, that person's not an asshole at all. The only problem is she got a 2-year lease with this person.
Yeah.
But they've figured it out because I'm not throwing away stuff that I have in my house that I paid my money for.
So if someone said that kind of thing to you about what you need to do in your house, you'd probably want to curse them out?
Possibly. It depends if I got the time.
Well, let's read some things. And this one's called, What is your favorite insult without using curse words? What is your favorite insult without using curse words? Here we go.
Your favorite insult without using curse words. Okay.
Got a list.
Okay. What's the list?
Your dog wags its tail when you leave.
Okay.
That's mean.
Okay.
That's mean.
Oh, I know mine.
When you were a child, your mama had to hang a bone around your neck to get the dog to play with you.
Oh.
That wasn't good.
That's not.
May you have a day as pleasant as you are.
Ooh. Okay.
You ever hear them people say, God bless, but what they really saying F you?
Yeah. No, bless your heart.
I hope you have the day you deserve.
Yeah. Like that. Like that for you.
My father and me as a teenager having a huge argument about me not washing the cars. I screamed, fine, Dad, I'm just useless. I can't do anything right. His response, no, you're not useless. You can always serve as a bad example. Classic. I still laugh about that comment.
That's funny.
He's as sharp as a marble, that one.
Ooh. Yeah, he probably didn't get that, man.
Here's this one. You look like you know what every crown tastes like.
Oh, nice. You have one?
Do I have one that I use? No curse words? Mm-hmm. So I want to tell somebody off, no curse words. Everybody knows what I would say.
What?
Kick rocks.
With Jesus sandals.
This show has changed my life, boy.
One that comes to mind me is your mama should went to sleep that night.
That sounds like my mother-in-law.
That one cracks me up.
That sounds like a mother-in-law statement. I haven't heard that one before. And finally, I have neither the time nor the crayons needed to explain this to you.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm sorry, I kept reading it. I said that was the last one. I kept reading it. I'd call you a tool, but that implies you're actually useful.
Ooh.
Why are you just standing there looking at me as if it's my fault you're stupid? And okay, our new final one. You've got 2 brain cells battling for 3rd place.
Damn.
All right, they said what they had to say. And I imagine that that's what this dad wants to say to his daughter's fiance, because the title of this next story is, Am I the asshole for refusing to let my daughter's fiance stay in our guest room because I use it for my hobby? Now, on the surface, I want to say, sir, no, you are not.
It's your house. Do the hell you
That's
want.
what I want to say on the surface. Let's actually read the story, though. So I, male 49, might be in the wrong here, but I honestly don't think I am and would love to hear outside perspectives. My daughter, 23-year-old female, got engaged recently and came to visit us with her fiance, 24-year-old male. We live a few states away, so I get that traveling is tiring, but we were happy to host for the weekend. Now, I've had my guest room set up for my miniature wargaming for the past few years. It's my space where I go to decompress after work, and it's honestly the only spot in the house that's fully mine. My wife has the sunroom, and the rest of the house is kind of communal. I've got thousands of dollars of models in there, custom terrain, a 3D printer setup, etc.
Nice.
It's not just a hobby, it's an investment, and frankly, a form of art. All right, you doing too much now.
No, that's his thing.
All right, okay. He trying to set it up. He trying to set it up. That's what I'm telling you. Anyway, when they arrived, I had the office couch made up for them, pull out, memory foam, decent blanket, very clean. My daughter seemed fine with it, but her fiance kind of made a face and later asked why they couldn't just sleep in the guest room. I told him plainly it wasn't available because it's not a guest room anymore. It's my studio.
That's right.
Later that night, my daughter confronted me privately and said I was being selfish and ridiculous.
Oh.
And that is just for 2 nights. She said they felt unwelcome and like I was prioritizing plastic figurines over family.
That's fine.
I told her that's not fair. They have a place to sleep. It's not like I made them sleep on the floor.
Marriott down the street.
Now, my wife is giving me the cold shoulder and said I could have just packed it up for a weekend. But again, it's not like these are toys you throw in a box. Some of them are fragile. Some are half painted. I don't want to spend days reorganizing and then undoing all that work just because they didn't like the setup. They left a day early, and now I'm getting texts from my daughter about how I chose my hobby over her happiness, which just seems dramatic to me. I might be the asshole because maybe I could have moved some stuff around for a few nights, but I really don't think it's fair to expect me to dismantle my entire setup just because someone didn't want to sleep on a perfectly good pullout.
Yep.
I have a right to my space too, right?
Yep. I see nothing wrong
yeah.
you offered them a place to sleep. I mean, I don't understand that. Marriott down the street, you can go stay somewhere else. The fact that you stay there overnight with your, her fiance? Mm-hmm. That's nice already. Y'all can get your own place.
Yeah, you know what it is?
And then and then the wife going to sit there and tell him she didn't offer up her sunroom.
Yeah.
No. I disagree.
What it is for me is that the fiance is the one that's really like the daughter. The daughter was okay with it.
Something.
And the fiance gonna say, "Well, why can't I stay in your guest room?" Well, hold on, I can answer that for you. Why can't you stay where? The guest room. No. What did you say the first time? In your guest room. Whose?
Yeah.
You know, I take that your house is your sanctuary very seriously.
Me too.
No one is ever going to come here and tell you what you need to do here.
No.
That's crazy.
I don't even understand how you can form that thought. Like you already went too far. And if you don't like it, then you should have stayed I'm telling you should have got a hotel then. Yeah. It's only 2 nights.
The comments felt differently.
Well,
I'm just scanning the comments right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Dad is like so we would be millennials. So what's that before? Gen X. Dad is a Gen Xer.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna assume these comments are Gen Z coded.
Okay.
They're asking for information. Why do you keep a bed in that room if you don't want anyone to sleep there?
He might sleep in there after he play with the figurines.
I can keep a bed in every room in my house.
Yeah, he can
I might keep a bed.
I
can keep a bed in my kitchen.
It's what,
might be weird to you.
Why are you worried about what's in my room?
Hell, it might be weird to me. My kitchen.
He might put the figurines in bed. Who knows? That's the room.
Someone else wants to know, has he allowed other people to stay in that room since it's become his space?
Doesn't matter. I'm not letting you all say, right now today, I'm not moving shit. Y'all got this pull out you can sleep on. If you don't want to sleep in the pull out, you're welcome to go stay at a hotel.
I'm going to read a few more of these comments. It sounds like they have a pretty big house. I just don't understand why the hobby room nobody sleeps in has to have a king-size bed in it.
And nobody asked you to understand shit.
I'm glad these comments are at the top. Dude has a king-size bed in the room and doesn't want to put his toys away so his daughter's fiance could sleep there?
Nope. I might not even want you sleeping in my bed. It don't matter. I gave you what I have to offer. Like, that's the end of it.
No, these are what all the comments are. Why isn't his hobby room in the office?
Because I can have both, bitch. It's my house. That's crazy.
Honestly, why is the only space allowed to be his in this huge house also the guest room? If the wife has the sunroom, why does his space have to be something that he gets kicked out of whenever guests are coming? Look, the daughter sucks for making demands in the house that she no longer lives in, then chucking a tantrum like a child when she doesn't get
Thank
away.
you. Finally,
The
a good
fiance
comment.
sucks for turning his nose up because he's too good for a fold-out couch. The wife sucks if this is the only room she has agreed to OP having as his space. And OP sucks for taking over a guest room in a way that doesn't allow it to be used by guests. Seriously, if a room pulls double duty in the terms of functionality, make sure it can be switched between functions easily. And I think all these comments suck because what? Like, you can sleep here, but I want to sleep there. And I get that that's what you want.
Yeah.
You can sleep here. Now, again, there are other places you can sleep. Let's name them off. Marriott, you said that.
Hilton.
Okay, what else?
Airbnb.
Motel 6.
What's that? Verbo.
Verbo. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So the options are, they're out there.
Quite extensive.
But if you want to sleep under this roof, you can sleep
I provided
here.
a spot for you. I told you can come home anytime you want. You're gonna have a bed. There's your bed. The sofa. I don't even know. There's nothing else to discuss. So I don't know why people entertain all this stuff.
Because you would entertain it?
No, I would not. Not at all. Can't you just put your things away? No. You know what? Now my couch is no longer available.
Actually, I need that couch for some more figurines.
That's right.
I'm 3D printing right
Yeah.
now.
I like to lay down and put my legs out there before I go to my bed. So it's not available.
Well, let me see if you'd entertain this. Am I the jerk for refusing to give my stepmom the money my dad left me?
No.
I'm gonna just go on and say no off top, but let's read the story before we get too judgy. So here's the deal. I, 26-year-old male, lost my dad last year. It was rough. He'd been remarried to my stepmom, let's call her Karen, for about 8 years.
Oh.
They didn't have any kids together, and she wasn't exactly warm to me growing up, but we were civil. My dad left me a decent chunk of change in his will, enough for a down payment on a house and then some. He explicitly stated that the money was for me, his only biological child, to, quote, get a good start in life. Karen got the house and a comfortable amount of saving, so it's not like she was left out. Fast forward to this year, I mentioned to Karen that I was looking to buy a house, and she immediately started trying to guilt trip me about family responsibilities. That's in quotes. Apparently, she's been having trouble with bills, and she asked me for a loan from the inheritance to, quote, help keep the house running. I said no. I told her that my dad made it clear that money was for me. She lost it.
I love it.
Told me I was being greedy, that family comes first, and that my dad would be disappointed in me.
Okay.
No, he would be pissed that she's even asking.
Yep.
Now my relatives are split. Some say I'm right to stand my ground. Others say I should help out because she was part of my dad's life. Reddit, am I the jerk?
No. That's a close case to me too. No.
Edit, I have posted an explanation. Go check it out. I don't know if we're going to check it out, but maybe we can check it out.
That's a no.
I'm going to tell you something that I've told many of my clients. She is trying to maintain a life that she cannot maintain.
There you go.
And it seems to me that maybe she needs to downsize. I understand she's a widow. I understand how hard it is to lose someone. It's been a year. So I would say don't make big decisions in that first 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, probably not even the first year.
Yeah.
But it's been a year.
Yeah.
And she's recognizing she cannot maintain this life. I'm just going to assume she's actually spending money wisely. I'm not going to assume she's doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
If that's the case, perhaps she needs to sell the house that was left to her, that is her house,
Downsize it. Yeah.
and move into something smaller.
Yeah.
She is a single person. I know she's older. She's not looking to probably start a family. She might want to date. Maybe a condo would be fine for her.
Maybe.
But what's not fine is to try to guilt someone into giving you a loan because their dad left them money. He left you money and the house.
Yeah. So what you I mean, you already got what you got.
I made mine work. Why can't you make yours work?
Yeah. No, that's no jerk, no nothing. That's crazy. Could tell me what to do for my daddy. You my stepmom.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
It was interesting.
Remember they said that they posted an explanation? Well, they had another post that says, am I the jerk for pressing charges against my own mother? And I thought that was kind of odd. But then they had a third post and it says, why I created AI, am I the jerk?
Oh. That was AI?
So for all the people who said I made an AI, am I the jerk? Y'all are right, and props to you. But I didn't do this because I made a bet with my sister to see who could get the most views on the app we both pick. I chose Reddit and my sister chose TikTok. And I never gave any rules besides who had the most views won $50. And I'm not going to hold y'all. I needed that $50 bad. So I went on ChatGPT and said to make an Am I the Jerk about a stepmom trying to take my money. And when ChatGPT made it, I just posted it and it went viral. I think 3.8 million views is viral. That's when I showed my sister and she was so confused, so that when I made my second video to show her. So to all the comments that point out this was AI, you people work hard on your job and are probably very dedicated to your job. But from now on, I'm only going to read posts. And if I do post something, I probably really need y'all's opinion and what to do on the situation.
No. So you just wasted our time.
Someone said, you suck. Faking the loss of a parent for views and a bet is insane.
I mean, you don't know parents.
Someone else said, yeah, you're a sorry sack of shit and a disgusting excuse of a human being. Myself and others have actually lost their parents. You absolutely fucking dolt of a human being.
What?
If you can even be called that, you should go F yourself.
Really?
Ever read The Boy Who Cried Wolf? Doubt anyone will take you seriously after posting AI.
It's a Reddit post.
See, you've read Reddit posts. I don't think you don't understand the culture of Reddit. Nor do I. But what I can tell you from my preliminary research is they take Reddit very seriously. They don't play that shit.
Jeez.
They don't play that shit.
I think there's a lot of AI stuff in there.
I tell you all the time, I think very, very, very soon, the internet will just be bots talking to bots. It's going to be this AI talking to that AI, then that AI. I'll tell you, something I've seen a lot that knows bots? Watch any black thing that gets a good number of traction, and you're going to see a comment saying, axe kills me, AXE kills me, right?
What's that?
Because they're saying that black people say axe instead of ask, right? And like I'd see that, and I'm watching the video. They never even said ask.
Yeah.
Like they never said it. But you start seeing this comment thread about how it's happening. I have seen it in our own comments, and I don't know if they're bots or just dumbass people. I remember one, and the person said something like, "Oh, the women in this post will have you thinking da da da," and I read it. Not one woman had posted that.
Yeah.
So
not real.
The bots are out there, the haters are out there.
Yeah.
And this person needed $50, y'all.
I ain't mad at it.
So again, we do not propose that any of these stories are real. We do not know. We take them at face value.
But you know what? I feel that, even though that's not real, that's probably based off somebody real done that. That's not like hard to imagine somebody asking for some money after they already got some from the child of their spouse. Like that's not implausible for me.
No, it's not. And there are a few things that I've learned in my own use of ChatGPT that ChatGPT, just for whatever reason, has not learned to get around yet. And there are some indicators, but not the obvious ones. Not the super obvious ones. There are some here. But yeah, that last story was fake, as admitted by the poster.
Fake news.
Speaking of things that could be entirely fake, it's time for Toxic Confessions.
Woohoo!
After 2 years of bad diets, I'm finally losing weight. I'm not trying. I just don't have an appetite. Headaches were keeping me up at night, so I went to the doctor. I'm HIV positive.
Oh.
The only person I've been intimate with is my pastor. I'm his only girlfriend, and he's faithful to his wife. Should I tell him I think his wife is for the streets?
Oh,
Clearly, she's the reason I'm sick. Also, how do I tell him? Help?
Jeez, that's terrible. That's dangerous. That's terrible. Oh, that's beyond toxic. That's
that is
bad
toxic.
Human. That's
That
bad
is toxic.
Human.
Because, he is faithful to his wife. Because I'm his only girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how that works.
Yeah. I think this is Perplexity or Claude. ChatGPT could never.
No.
I knew Kenny loved me more than Jay did. I knew I could play him to get what I wanted. $20,000 to open a beauty salon. Kenny had good credit and he worked for the city. He loaned me the $20,000, but my salon failed. Jay was passionate in bed, and he's the one I wanted most. I always made Kenny use protection, but Jay got me pregnant.
Oh.
My baby changed everything between us. He begged me to delete it. Then Jay's wife came home from prison, and he blocked me from everything.
Damn.
I dumped Kenny and kept my baby. I went to Jay's house to tell his wife that we are having a baby. Jay's brothers stopped me at the door. You know his wife served 7 years for what she did to his other side chick, right? Long story short, that side chick is no longer on this side of the grass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 5 months pregnant, and I want Jay involved in our baby's life. How do I do this safely?
Yeah.
You don't.
You don't.
His wife spent 7 years.
Yeah. Should do it again.
I killed before.
Yeah.
I kill again. Leaving Las Vegas with my wife. We were in line to board the plane. TSA agents approached and informed me I was trespassed from the airport from an incident back in May. My wife defends me, saying I wasn't in Vegas in May, but the agent gave her a copy of the paperwork and police report. In May, my wife was recovering from heart surgery, and I slipped out of town with my girlfriend. My girlfriend and I were fighting at the airport in Vegas. Pissed, my wife took my jacket and wallet and boarded her flight. I was arrested. She didn't accept my calls. She didn't put money on my books, and I couldn't return home. I searched Facebook and wrote to single women in the area. 3 months later, my pen pal put money on my books and picked me up from jail. It's been a year, and she's pregnant. She's okay, but I don't want this woman. I want my wife. No. My wife walked away from me. That void is still there. I want to go home. What to do?
You can go wherever you want, but it ain't going to be at that house. The wife will move on.
And you know, I say all the time that I think these are fake.
Yeah.
I've been hearing some real life stories that I wish were fake. My husband met my whore cousin first. You know where this is starting. My husband met my whore cousin first, but after a few years of running back and forth between us, he came to his senses and married me last summer. No good can come from this.
None.
There's a popular YouTube channel that publishes police body cam footage of arrest. Why did I see my whore cousin get arrested for shoplifting at Target? I'm laughing my ass off when she begs police to let them call her boyfriend before they take her to jail. Why I see my husband race to Target to get her purse. And he told the cops that she was his girlfriend?
Oh.
He asked about her bail. She gets emotional when the female officer pats her down and she screams, "I'm pregnant, take these cuffs off me." I see my husband gently and concerned calling her baby. The video was from July. In July, he took $500 out of our joint account. Her bail money? They don't know I know. What to do now? P.S. I took screenshots from the video just in case it's deleted. I've also found her arrest report. I can't look like the loser in this situation. I'm the wife. Help? And honey, so many people are like that. That shit's real. That shit's real, honey.
I believe you.
That shit's real. So many people say, but I'm the wife.
And?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that little dinosaur used to say, I'm the baby, gotta love me. You're the wife. She's the whore. I don't know. It's confusing. It's just confusing. My whore cousin. Why is she a whore? Because she did the same shit you did?
Yes, exactly. You got the piece of trash first. Or he chose you. Trash chose you.
Imagine getting trash. Imagine getting chose by trash.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to celebrate it.
Looking ass. My love, my love, my love. I don't even know. I don't even know these stories. Boy.
A little messy.
A little messy. And apparently a little fake.
Yeah, fake. You got bots. You got a bunch of allergies and people, audacity, talking about stuff, acting like they own stuff around here. It's all a big old mess.
Of all the stories we read, was anyone actually the jerk or the asshole? Well, you probably disagree. I think maybe the guy that said, I need my wife to feel what I feel. I think he needs some emotional maturity.
Yeah, I didn't even understand what that meant. What are you feeling that you need your wife to feel? You're talking about mad because she was mad that you didn't go to the store and buy flowers?
Yeah, I think
both of them is fucked up, so I don't know.
I won't say all that. I'll say I think they need some emotional maturity. I think you have to feel what I feel is where resentment begins to grow. And I think resentment is like the mold that'll ruin your home and the foundation of your relationship.
Yeah. I don't know what they want. It must be bored. That's how I see it.
I think they're just hurt and maybe they have some healing and we're going to send them healing energy.
All right.
With that said, thanks, classmates, for joining us for another episode of Only Black Kids in the Class. We hope to keep bringing you some pretty cool things. Might even be switching things up. You never know. You never know.
Okay.
Go on and hit us up if you want to hear our takes. asktheblackkids@gmail.com. Make sure you follow us on all socials at Only Black Kids. That's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We ain't on anything else. I don't even know what else there is. I guess there's Twitter, which everyone always calls X, formerly Twitter, but everyone still calls it formerly Twitter. So I think we can just call it Twitter. We're not on that. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.